Welcome back to Web Certain TV. I'm Gemma Houghton, and today I'm joined by Peter Lung, who is an SEO specialist at Web Certain, to talk to us about Hong Kong and how people consume information and behave on the internet in that market. Hi, Peter.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for talking to us about this. So just firstly, to set the scene a little bit, can you tell us what are the main kind of trends when it comes to internet usage and information consumption in Hong Kong right now?
Yeah, in Hong Kong, a lot of people want to put their lives on Facebook. They always stay on Facebook all the time. When you walk in Hong Kong on the street, you can see all the people are looking at their phones, and then always they share what they eat, they share what they are going, they check in every spot they have in Hong Kong, and then they also share all the information on Facebook as well. So basically, they don't actually go to a news website to read the information. They're actually going to the Facebook to read the news and the latest updates about Hong Kong and, of course, around the world as well.
Okay, so they use that one platform basically as a social platform, but also to get information and to find out what's happening.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And is that the same for kind of all age groups? Is that mainly the younger generation, or does that work for everyone?
That's an interesting question because for all the people, they would just think that that's just the young people would stay on Facebook, but that's not true because all the elderly people, they also go on Facebook as well. But the things they share is kind of different. For young people, the young generation, they always share what they eat, what they play, what they are having with their friends. But for the a little bit elderly generation, they always share the meaning of life, the future of next life and all things like that, or sometimes about religions. And yeah, that's more different sharing, but they also go on Facebook all the time.
Okay, so different behaviour slightly, but the same platform.
Yeah, but the same platform, yeah.
So would you say based on that then that Facebook is really the most important channel for any business to think about when it comes to Hong Kong, even maybe more than Google or the search engines?
Yeah, that's right. That's actually for most internet, they call it an internet marketing company in Hong Kong. Most of them, they stick on the Facebook thing, the social thing, much more than the SEO thing actually. So they want to think every possible way on Facebook to make the videos or the content to become viral, rather than optimizing the SEO stuff of their website.
Because it's actually more important to have a presence there on social than it is to rank highly, because nobody's really looking for it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And just in terms of language, is it Chinese, Cantonese that people would use kind of across the board, or is it a mix of English as well?
Now that's kind of a little bit sensitive, but it's okay. But Hong Kong is kind of still a very international city.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. Some people, they would just mix up with the Cantonese and also the English as well. So for some for international companies, sometimes it's really hard for them to get inside the market because sometimes we talk Cantonese and sometimes we talk English and sometimes we talk both of them, mixing some of them. So basically one sentence you can hear when you're walking in Hong Kong, you can hear some people speak some of them are Cantonese, and then you see that that sounds like English as well. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so you've got to be a bit
mixing,
I guess,
two of them.
pay attention maybe to what you're, depending on what it is that you're targeting and what kind of customer base you've got, listen to what kind of language they use and adapt to that way. It might actually be that you need a bit of both, or that English is sufficient.
Yeah, but what I suggest is if your product is targeting about a younger generation, you can try in a more Cantonese and mixing with the English way. So if for elderly generation, you can do it purely Cantonese. Yeah.
So when it comes to kind of standing out when you're publishing content, whether it be news sites or brands trying to push their content, it's obviously quite competitive, and there's a lot of noise on Facebook.
Yeah.
So how can kind of these publishers stand out a bit? What do they need to be doing to keep up with the pace?
Because the logic about the Facebook newsfeed always changing all the time, and then just what I mentioned in Hong Kong, a lot of people using Facebook all the time. So if you're a content publisher, you need to work really hard on to attract people to actually click on the link. If they don't click on the link, your post will not be reaching enough people to generate the page view or to generate customer to buy your products. So it's actually very competitive, and then actually, there's no definite answer for that, but you need to keep up the trend. You need to think why, you need to stand from the customer's point of view to think that like why Hong Kong people need to share your post, need to like your post, or need to react your post. So that's a very difficult thing, actually.
So it's all about making, which is the case in all markets really, I guess, is making sure that your kind of headline, that your advertisement, the body, the image in your post is really relevant to what that audience would be interested in.
Yeah, and most likely recently, because like in Hong Kong recently, there's a lot of news thing. Politic news thing. So some marketers are trying to use the politics to try to attract people to actually click on the link
to get people emotionally.
That's the emotional like selling the products. Yeah.
And is that a good tactic or is that a bit risky?
That's actually very risky, I would say, because like sometimes it's really hard to catch the people's emotions. Sometimes you will just catch it wrong. But just like what I think, if you don't try, there's a problem. If you try, at least you will have a little chance to, not just a little chance, at least you have a chance to succeed. So that's why even though it's really risky, but I think it's still worth to try it. Yeah.
Okay. And there's been a few issues with content farms in Hong Kong because of this need to generate more content and try and stand out. What are kind of the issues there, and how is that affecting journalists? How is it affecting news sites, normal other businesses?
Yeah, the content farm thing is not just about Hong Kong thing, but Hong Kong is affecting the most because just like what I mentioned, they always stick on Facebook. So the content farm, the title and also the content from content farm website, they kind of like attracting people to click on it or to react on it. So that's why like some content farm website are writing some like exaggerated headlines or like fake stories or about like anything that you can't imagine in your life. So that's kind of like affecting some of like standard, normal media companies. They try to do something similar to make the news like look bigger than before, and then it's not a good thing for sure, because like recently there's some like celebrities like saying that they don't know each other actually, but a passage from Content Farm saying that they're together.
Yeah. Because
like all the people in Hong Kong think that that's like a surprising news, because like they thought that they don't know each other. And then like they kind of like sharing it all the time, and then at the end the celebrities will just say, we are not together. Then they are making fun of it, and then that's not a good thing for journalism in the long term.
It's almost becoming difficult to separate reality from fiction.
From the fiction, yeah.
Which is not a good say. So how do you see it developing? Because obviously, things change so quickly. Is this likely to potentially be a problem for Facebook? Because if people start to get fed up of this kind of news and not really knowing what's true and what's not, might they move away from the platform, or what do you think might happen?
I think actually before, like when this kind of like content farm started, and then all the people would just say like Facebook need to change that, and then like they don't like Facebook anymore, they would just get away. But like in Hong Kong, that's kind of like funny, because like when people say they hate one thing, but in the end they were still using it. So like when people kind of like trying to boycott one thing, they're still using it anyway. So we just hope that like as a people from Hong Kong, I just hope that like Facebook will actually deal with this. And I heard that like recently they have a news like saying that they will deal with all this kind of like content farm thing, but we are not so sure whether it works or not. So we will see. Yeah.
But the chances are, I guess, it's the same way with things like ad blocking, that social networks are becoming more aware of some of the problems on the site, things that aren't so good for users, and attempting to improve them. So potentially those things will change.
Yeah.
So obviously you've talked there a lot about, Facebook is clearly a really key channel. If you're a brand targeting Hong Kong and users in Hong Kong, you need to be present on Facebook. Are there any other tips you could share? Any other things that any other platforms maybe that are relevant for Hong Kong users? Yeah,
I think like in Hong Kong, like the people don't like to read the text. So you need to like, most likely you need to make a lot of videos or photos or something like people willing to share. They would rather spend the time to watch the video for like 3 to 2 to 3 minutes. So you need to make a viral video to attract people to actually watching it or sharing it. So there are a lot of like brands recently trying to, they make a lot of like funny videos. So like when people saw it, they don't they don't know that as a advertisement, and then they would just keep on sharing it, and then in the end that would be a good thing, like to expand, to promote your products and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Great. Well, it's really interesting. Thank you for talking about that with us.
Thank you.